Hey friends, thanks for coming to my sleepover. And yes, that is what I'm calling these, because at this point you're gonna have to stay here because it's late in the day. Well, it's early, but I work overnights, so it's late. So you're just gonna have to sleep over after we get done doing this, okay? But you are late, so I'm gonna need you to get the fuzzy blanket. I got more over there. I'm gonna need you to grab one of these pillows. There's about 4 more over there. And we need to hurry up and get this into it. So be sure that you're subscribed so we can continue to have our sleepovers, because you're a terrible texter. You're a terrible texter, so you need to just be subscribed so you know when to show the fuck up. Okay? Also, if you don't comment, because I don't want to be one of those friends that I just do all the talking and you just listening, and then there's this built up resentment because you feel like I don't listen to you. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You're going to comment and let me know what the fuck is up so that this relationship is equal, because if it's not, then I don't want it. And be sure to like the video because we want to expand our friend group. I'm trying to do trips to Aruba. I'm trying to have, girls, guys, days, night out. I'm trying to do all that. And the only way we can get that is by you liking the video so we can meet more friends. Anyways, let's talk about my current hyperfixation, ONA, the cult that likes to sacrifice Christians. Yeah. There's a lot to unpack there. So when I first started researching this group, right, and I was like, what do you mean sacrifice Christians? The first thing that came up, or should I say the first name that popped up, was Ethan Meltzer. Who is Ethan Meltzer? Well, he's a 22-year-old private military, a private in the Army from Louisville, Kentucky. He joined the military in 2018. He ended up deploying to Europe, of all places, in 2019. Now, when he deployed, do you think he made friends? Do you think he found a girl to propose to in 3 days? Do you think he tried new foods? Did you say no to all of these? Then you would be fucking correct. Because no, you know what? You know what this man did? This man got in his Telegram, out of all apps to use, and found this little group chat, right? Called Grape Wafin, right? The group chat's called Grape Wafin. And he starts texting all of these people, and sooner rather than later, he's just consuming propaganda on ONA. And he's starting to dive deeper into this little group. And this little group is just feeding into his craziness and his hatred and all of that, right? So for a whole year, in Europe of all fucking places, okay? That's what trips me out. This man consumes propaganda from this cult, right? ONA. And then in 2020, his top advisors or whatever, the people above him was like, hey, you shipping out my dude to the Middle East. Pack your shit and get ready. So, do you think he asked for leave to go home and say goodbye to his family? Do you think he thought, maybe I should mentally start preparing myself for this? Do you think he did any of those things? You answered no again? Girl, 2 for 2. Because you was right. No, you want to know what this man did? This man ran to his little room. Let me come over here and grab. He ran to his little room and got his little ass phone. He's like, guys, guess what? I'm going to the Middle East. We have to do something big. They need to remember me. That's literally what I imagine that this man did. This is all allegedly, okay? Because I don't know what this man did in his little room with these weird ass people. So Ethan and his little group, right? They're like, bet, you're right here, because we're thinking the same thing. What if we, I don't know, I'm in a silly goofy mood, so I have a little silly goofy thing to throw out there. Set up your unit in the Middle East, right? And we take everybody out. And Ethan's like, even me? And they were like, well, with this plan and the way that you want to do this, yeah, kinda. And he's like, bet. You want to know what? If it starts another 10-year war in the Middle East, I'm down. I'm here for it. It's giving everything I wanted it to give. Yeah, this man was down to die for nothing. I mean, for something that he believed in, I guess, but what he believed in was nothing, in my opinion. After y'all hear this story, the rest of this, you tell me. But again, this man is on, what app did I say in the beginning? Telegram. Do you think the FBI didn't find out about this? I know that we say the police ain't shit, but Telegram? Come on, y'all. Come. Give them some credit. Just a teeny bit, okay? So, of course, the FBI finds out about this, right? They arrest him. And this man immediately doesn't even deny it. Says, yup, I'm a traitor to the United States. And, the FBI was like, release a press conference, which I died laughing. I don't know why I find this so funny, but they were like telling all of this in their little press conference, their little release, and then they're like, and we happen to, and the one thing that us and Mr. Meltzer can agree on is that he is a traitor to the United States. Like, y'all didn't need to add that in there, because we know that you agree. He pleads guilty January 2022, and now he's awaiting his sentencing for January 2023, so coming up this year. So if you want a little update on that, let me know, because I'm gonna keep up. I want to know what the hell happened. I want to know why he was sitting in jail for 2 years. I know the legal system ain't shit, but for I ain't never heard of a can I say that word? 2 years? This man pled guilty. He said he was a traitor to the United States. Why did it take 2 years? And then when I try to figure it out, this isn't even part of the fucking story, but it bothers me. It doesn't bother y'all. So now we're like, who the hell is this group that's over here converting U.S. Army personnel people? ONA, as I said, the Order of the Nine Angles. All the information I have is limited, okay, because they shroud themselves in mystery. Even though I found a ton of information, it's all repetitive. It's all very much repetitive. And even some of the information I found, girl, I was not reading all that. I'm just gonna be real. I'm not reading all of that. You can't, no, you're not paying me enough to read all of that, and I'm gonna explain why once we get to it. So the ONA is technically a cult that survived the pre-Christianization of Britain, right? They were a closed practice up until, I believe, the 1960s. Prior to the 1960s, before they became ONA, they were actually 3 separate groups. The Temple of the Sun, the Camelades, and the Noctulans, okay? But a badass bitch in this group, okay? I don't know why I just called this woman a badass bitch. Women supporting women, but not in this. Girl, stop. I need to calm down. Okay. So, just to know, she's the Grand Mistress. They have certain levels to this. We'll go more in depth later in the video. But the Grand Mistress, she combined all of them because she's like, why would we be 3 when we could be 1? This makes more sense than this. And so she combined them, and that therefore became ONA. So, if you asked ONA who they are, they would tell you that they're an organization there for guidance. They do believe in true anarchy. They don't really have any moral guidance, and they expect the people who are going to be a part of the group to learn by trial and error. They're supposed to always and to never give up. Okay, doesn't sound too bad. You're like, Kaida, what the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't sound too bad. Now let's ask other people about them. Hold on, because we always got something good to say about ourselves, but bring it back. We gotta ask other people about them. If you ask Hate Not Hope in Britain, right, the organization that essentially got them banned, okay, this was recently too, that they just got them banned, they will call them the worst group in society, the worst type of people in society. When they say they promote and believe in true anarchy, they truly mean that. They promote rape, they promote SA, they promote domestic, they promote DV, they promote random acts of violence, they promote culling of humans. They even suggest and no, not even just suggest. They tell the people that are a part of their groups to join the police force. So not only they can hold higher positions of power to generate even more genuine anarchy, but so they can cull more humans, because they know that police get away with that. They don't just encourage people to violence. They expect you to support it and incite it and spread it. So what is the goal of all of this, you ask? Girl, I thought nothing, but apparently to them, a new imperial civilization, okay? Did I say that word right? Imperial. A new imperial civilization based on a cruel mixture, oh my god, how that stroke tastes, of social Darwinism, Satanism, and fascism. We know in the 1960s, they were very much a closed practice. But when did they become open? And when did all the craziness start? And how did they get to the part where they're persuading people in the United States military to join them? Okay? We're gonna move on up. We're going 10 years ahead, okay? We're not moving. Let's not go back. Let's go forward. To the 70s, okay? The 70s is full of all great things. You know, lava lamps, LSD, polyester. Girl, the list goes on and on, okay? So in the 70s, this man named Anton Long, which is a fake name. I don't know. I'm not going to say the other word because y'all are going to make fun of me because I cannot pronounce it. It starts with a P and you know what I'm saying. So Anton Long, he became a grandmaster and he said this whole us being in secrecy thing, closed practice thing is not working out. We're never going to get to the new civilization where I'm the ruler. Well, I don't know if he said that, but that's what I'm thinking. Unless we start telling people about us, unless we start inviting people to join us. So he had this whole plan in his head, okay? So he started writing down the teachings of ONA. I mean, when I say writing down, I don't mean like wrote down in a few notebooks, pass them around, do copy and print. No, this mother. He had published a whole book, bro, that's popular, bro. The book is popular. You can find the book on Amazon. he published the book. So he has all these teachings, right, that he's spreading around, right? He's writing in all these different languages because of course this man had to be a polyglot. He got to spread it around the world. And he starts telling his people, like, you need to start passing this around. And on top of that, we can't just be staying in one place. That's not going to work either. We need to expand and grow. So I'm going to need y'all to create y'all own temples, but it's all going to lead back to us. We're going to call them Nexans, okay? So that's what they are. He's encouraging people to create their own temples, which are called Nexans. They all lead back to ONA. The teachings all lead back to ONA. They're all ONA, but they're Nexans. And they have different names. And I think you might know one of them. The Temple of Blood. I know y'all know. If y'all are big on anything occult following, strange, dark, and mysterious stuff, you know that. You just watch true crime, you know the Temple of Blood. You know the Temple of the Blood. You're not going to tell me that you don't, because you do, okay? Also, I know you know the Temple of Them, because before I even read this, before I even started researching this, I knew that the Temple of Them was in Australia. And they even have one in Italy called Sectum 9, which I've heard of as well. I don't know if y'all have heard of. Because he started, putting it in the teachings that creating Nexans was a part of ONA traditions and stuff like that, more of these little Nexans started popping up, and so they started gaining more and more people. How many people? We don't know, because again, secrecy, mystery, okay? Also dark magic, because again, they literally said that they based it on social Darwinism, fascism, and Satanism. So it's like, how did this cult become so relevant, right? That they're persuading people in the U.S. fucking military to join. How? Let me tell you about that. Where did they become relevant as a cult? I know we were in the 70s. We were talking about the teachings. We're gonna skip. skip. We're gonna go to the 80s, okay? Now we're going into the 80s. Why did these people create a board game? I'm dead ass serious. They created a board game called the Star Game, and I found differing accounts that said that at one point this game was very popular in the 80s, especially because, like, you know, among like people who are like goth and are really into that aesthetic. And there was another person who said no, only people who are in ONA played the game. And there was people in the comments of some of these articles that I was reading, in the comments of some of these, because you know you can go to websites that will like show you old games if you're like looking for like a very rare game. Like there's websites out there that you can go to find them. There was people that were a part of ONA that were saying no, it was only ONA, and there was people that were like no, it was pretty popular with people who were obsessed with the occult. So I don't know, but I'm gonna believe the latter, because why are random people saying that no, I heard of this game in the 80s when I was a child? That's scary. They published book with the popular author Stephen Sennett in the Infernal textbooks by Snox and Keith or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't want to know because I don't even want to say that word, okay? But that book is very popular, and it's very popular on Amazon. You can go check that out yourself. I just gave you the name. Girl, they was publishing news articles and articles in magazines, and popular magazines in the 80s. Who was doing that for them? I couldn't figure it out, but I found like 2 random magazines that no longer run, and no, I don't know the name from them. I don't even remember, because I was just so dumbfounded that they was really out here just letting this fucking Satanist group talking about they want you to promote random acts of violence, SADV, all that stuff. And you letting them publish in a regular magazine that could be at a doctor's office for your child to read. This is the 80s, okay? That's some crazy shit. That's some craziness. They had gothic fiction that they published that was very popular, that romanticized ONA. You gotta give them props where props is due. I'm not gonna lie, props where props is due, because you really played the game on that one. You knew exactly what you were doing. You have rock bands that to this day, but starting in the 80s, that still align themselves with ONA and push their fans to like go and listen and read about the teachings. That's crazy. And they have a popular tarot card that is still popular, that people still buy. And it's like, you're supporting this cult. Let's now skip over to the 90s. And they gained even more popularity. Yes, girl, more popularity. When they decided that they were going to align themselves with S times 2. I just want the sense to start sensing. And you're gonna understand why I said that. Okay? Because then they turned around again in the 90s and started aligning themselves with Neo-ism. Neo-NA-ism. Y'all put 2 and 2 together. You're my friend, so I know you're smart, but I'll give you a minute. I'm spelling it for you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Where's the sensing? I added, subtracted, divided, and multiplied, and still didn't come up with the total you got. So I need somebody to explain it. Explain it. You can't? Exactly. Okay. So this is when they really started getting into the public eye, but they decided that they still needed to do more after this, right? Because times are changing. You gotta keep up with the times. So then 2008, they announced that they're in their 3rd phase of their plan or whatever, and they're gonna start promoting themselves on the internet. They go to Twitter, they go to YouTube, and they go to Facebook. Facebook page It's completely locked down, bro. I found 2 Facebook pages. One of them was deleted. The other one, lock and key. You cannot get into it. I answered the questions. I made 3 separate. You know how hard it is to make a face? You remember back in, this is random, okay? And this is off topic, but you remember back in the day where you could just make a Facebook account and it was just like this, like a snap of your finger? And now you gotta go through this 2-step verification bullshit. Like, you to make a fake page, like to make multiple fake pages, you gotta go through some shit. So I don't know what's going on the Facebook. The Twitter is wild. Apparently they deleted, or they got a lot of their tweets deleted. I don't know. But some of their tweets from like 2006, 2008, 2007 are fucking wild. And I'm gonna put them right here.
Oh, editing me here. I went looking for these fucking tweets. I've spent 3 hours trying to find them. They're nowhere to be found. I only found this tweet right here, basically saying the account that I had found was deleted. The rest of the accounts I found, the tweets were deleted. They didn't follow Twitter's guideline, which good for them, because that shit was fucking wild if you would have seen it. But yeah, and I cannot find the Instagram, have no idea. But I'm going to show you a clip from YouTube. Be ready for it.
Let's go over to YouTube, okay? Because YouTube, apparently, a lot of their videos got deleted, or they deleted them themselves because they got reported, okay? Especially because of the Hope Not Hate thing in Britain. People went over there and I heard they started mass reporting, okay? So a lot of the videos on there are gone. Apparently there was a lot. I tried to do a deep dive and find them. I could not find them. But I did find some scary fucking videos, and I'm gonna show them to you right now because I need y'all to be afraid the way that I was afraid. They created blogs such as O9A, Omega 9 Alpha. I'm not good at the internet. I'ma just be real. Researching for me, I'm only good at that because of hyperfixation. But even then, it's really hard unless I'm doing like a school research paper. So this video took me so long because I couldn't make myself research the way that I needed to research. But I found the blogs in less than 5 minutes. And I found one of them on accident. Could you imagine just a random, like your 10-year-old just looking and typing one of these words in, not knowing what it means? Just being like, let's Google fun, crazy stuff on Google. I don't know, do kids still do that? Or are they too busy on TikTok? Not even to sound old, because I'm on TikTok. But like, when I was a kid, we used to Google random shit into Google and see what pops up. Do kids still do that? Because if they do, your kid might be reading about ONA in this cult. So be careful, please. I read through the blog. It literally makes no sense. I found it at 3 in the morning. Decided that wasn't a good idea to read it. Read it anyways. Didn't make any sense. Went to sleep. Woke up in the morning. Read it again. Still didn't make any sense. It's not that it didn't make any sense, like I couldn't understand it, like it was gibberish. It didn't make any sense, like it was so repetitive and mind-numbing. Like it was just like, what the fuck? How do people fall for this? How do people read into this? And they're like, yeah, this is my religion. As you know, they have a Telegram, but they also have a WhatsApp and a Discord. Girl, they said we diversify. Let's also not forget, now we're coming into recent times. What are they doing? They're not active on their Twitter anymore. They're not active on their YouTube. Again, but these are old sites. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't found them. I could definitely look again and see. And they're kind of semi-active. I forgot to say, they're still active on Instagram. Especially the Temple of Them from Australia. They be posting pictures and shit. Okay, so again, they're not really active on social media anymore. They're not putting articles in magazines. I don't think they could in this time and age. So what are they doing now? They're still creating Nexons, girl. Did you not hear me in the beginning when he was telling the only way that we're gonna get people to join is by creating Nexons? There's literally a new Nexon that just came into play that you wouldn't even know. This one is fucking crazy because like the Temple of Them, the Temple of Blood, Sectrum 9, like all of those you would know about. You would be like, okay, that makes sense on them being traced back to ONA. But it's like, this one doesn't make any sense, okay? We all know ONA promotes genuine anarchy. And that would be the reason why they promote race and ism. Simply for the fact because it creates anarchy, it creates division, right? That's why they align themselves with neo-ism. That's why they align themselves with IS times 2, right? Why the fuck did they create Rules People Nationalist Party in the South fighting for people's rights, for colored people's rights, ma'am, for inclusion and shit like that, but it's still ONA with a little bit of spice? I'm dead. When I seen this and I started reading what they stand for and what they want, I was like, wow, ONA really flipped the switch because they said, how can we get to what we want faster? I guess we gotta let the colored people in. I guess that's what they were thinking. Like I said, directly echoes ONA, the Temple of the Blood, the Temple of Them. It's just flipped a little bit. So it makes more sense and it doesn't seem as extreme, but it's still as extreme. This shit is not funny, but I gotta laugh through it because if I don't, I will literally scare myself and I won't be able to sleep. I just want you to know that the Temple of Blood is like literally considered a breeding ground for, I'm gonna just say the word terrorism. I have to say it at least once in this video. So yeah, because they literally promote race with the ism. They promote random acts of violence, calling humans, mass calling of humans. They're just, the Temple of the Blood is wild, but they're ONA, so they're both wild. I keep wondering what is bringing these people in to this, like into ONA, to the Order of the Night Angles. Like, what is compelling? So I decided, let me really look up and see, what do these people believe in? Because there's got to be something in what they believe in that's compelling. And when I did the research, this shit was funny. So I'm gonna just give you a brief synopsis because, oh my god, this shit was so long and boring to research. This part, at least. This is not the funny part. So they believe in aeons, which is nothing new, which is, the aeons divide the human history, right? They believe there's been like 5 aeons already and we're in the 6th one. And every aeon, a civilization emerges, it lives for a little bit, and it dies off, and then chaos ensues, and then they get to rule the planet, right? And then it starts all over again. Every aeon lasts approximately 2,000 years. Again, none of this is new for a cult, okay? Now, they were saying there's like stages to this shit. Remember when I was saying they were talking about in 2008, they stage 3 to go onto the internet to gain more recruits so they can get to their final stage. Well, they said back in the day, the Western world was in its final stage. So it was supposed to be in the stage right at the brink of chaos, right before they were supposed to take charge, right? I just want to, let me just pull my computer up right here, okay? Because if I got notes, girl. But I just wanted to read you this because I copied this word for fucking word. They said the last stage, right, which the Western world was supposed to be in the times of troubles, they said, is the Aeon of Fire, which will be represented by the galactic civilization in which an Aryan society shall colonize the Milky Way galaxy. That sounds like some racist Star Wars bullshit. Like, why you gonna the galaxy? Just settle for Earth. Just set up for Earth. All the bad guys just want to take over the planet. Why you gotta be a supervillain and take over the whole galaxy? That's some Star Wars level shit. I'm gonna need you to stop right now. But it gets better, it gets worse. But there was a stop to this, you see, okay? Because right in the time of trouble, the Western world was infected on what they call the Nazarene. If you are a Christian or you read the Bible, you grew up Catholic, whatever, Baptist, whatever, you know what the Nazarene stand for. Also known as Judeo-Christianity. Christians, okay? I'm gonna read you this as well because I thought this shit was crazy. The group writings state that while the Western civilization had once been a pioneering entity imbued with elitist values and exalting the way of the warrior, under the impact of the Nazarene ethos, it has become essentially neurotic, inward-looking, and obsessed, embracing humanism, capitalism, communism, as well as the sham of democracy and the dogma of racial equality. And I wrote, had me till communism, the sham of democracy, and racial equality. Again, had me to the end, girl. You had me to the... I'm starting to understand why y'all fall for this. And if I was a different shade, maybe this would have made sense. So I already told you that the ONA decided they was going to blend all the best things, Satanism, Neoism, and like elements of magic and stuff, right? So that they could create what we know as the ONA now. They will put forth this image of themselves as just a group that looks into dark magic and looks into yourself to find resolution and find strength, and like turning dark magic into yourself in order to get the things that you want. That's the image that they put forth. And I feel like that's why they turned into Satanism and like dark magic and stuff like that. And I feel like that's another maybe appeal because they talk a little in depth about that as well. Also unoriginal, they believe the Holocaust is a lie. And they hail the H guy. You know who I'm talking about. They also believe in they also believe in sacrificing Nazarenes. They full-heartedly believe in that, and they believe that if you sacrifice a Nazarene, you'll be gifted even more than you previously could have been just by calling a random human. They even have a whole section on where they're talking about like how to hunt and skin an animal. But y'all, I read this and it was just giving hunting and killing something that was not an animal. I was like, okay, if this is all the case, how do you join this group, right? That's only supposed to be a guide to where you want to go. Everything is self-initiated. If you didn't realize that now. If you say you in ONA, gang, I guess you in ONA. No, not gang. But once you say you're a part of them, you have to go through the way and you have to get past levels. I guess they have like 7 stages, 7 levels, and each level you achieve it by your one's own effort. And to reach a particular like higher levels, you have to put in a considerable amount of effort. The aim of the way of what they call it in these levels is to create a sinister individual who will then create more sinister individuals who will then promote and incite and encourage and do true and profound anarchy, chaotic things, I guess. Creating a sinister individual is training them. I'm trying to say this with a straight face because I've been laughing this whole video and it's not a funny video. Train them in the dark arts. I'm really over here laughing like I don't believe in dark magic and spiritualism and shit, but it's just because my brain just goes to the weirdest shit. Harry Potter. Really? I need to stop. I believe in some of this. Like, I'm not saying I believe in this. Like, I believe in spiritualism. So I believe that there is a darkness in this world that we just don't know shit about, and I don't want to know shit about it. I want to stay. I'm not trying to go that way. My third eye needs to stay the fuck closed. So then I decided to go even deeper. You know how I said I found their webpage? So I decided to go to their webpage. I went to their little thing, and then I was like, let me go to the Ways guide. And I went to this guide that, you know, they're like, yeah, we're just a guide. We're just going to help you out. Why is this guidebook 1,000 pages? Is it a guide or are you trying to run my fucking life, bitch? Who the fuck is reading 1,000 pages? Not I, and not for this damn YouTube video. Y'all ain't paid me yet. I got to page 27 before I said hell to the mother. No, I will not read this. But in the 27 pages I did read, I felt like I was reading a Ponzi scheme. Dead ass. It was a Ponzi scheme at its finest. Because listen, okay? First you commit and you study, right? You gotta study as hard as you can. Challenge yourself physically every day to the point of exhaustion. Till you can't even think, you can't even do anything. And they do this because they're like, you need to be in the best physical shape. They literally, they give you a diet and a workout plan. I can't remember what's that religion that Tom Cruise is a part of. What is it called? That's what it's giving. I don't know what the name is. Oh my god. Scientology. It's giving that, okay? So then, once you've worn yourself out, you've gone on this diet, you've studied your hardest, you need to find a partner. You need to bring your partner in. You need to do all these rituals, right, with your partner, if you get my drift. Then once your partner is really into it, you create your own Nexon. And then you bring another person in. And it starts all over again. Tell me that don't sound like Ponzi scheme. Tell me that don't sound like Scientology. Like, I can't be the only one thinking this shit. Also, some of the challenges that they had me fucking, I was like, what the fuck? One of the challenges was to lay really still in like a dark place and not move or say anything, and you can't fall asleep. And if you manage to stay there all night, you've leveled up. Another one was to stay out, like, away from society for like a whole equinox or something like that for like 60 days, I guess. That one I'm kind of like, okay, I guess that would be a challenge. You got to really be with your thoughts. That makes sense. But the one where you lay it on the ground, and that one was just something else. How many people, right, recently actually were involved in this? Right, involved with the ONA that we personally know of, right? Not that we personally know, but that we could find on the internet easily. So after Mr. Meltzer was exposed, it was just a fucking domino effect in the military. On September 23rd, 2019, Specialist Jarrett William Smith, age 24, was arrested and charged with giving information to the ONA, sensitive information, and weapons of mass destruction. They literally found plans of this man talking about he was going to assassinate 3 federal agents for the glory of the ONA. Corin Caver, another private in the United States fucking military, was found with paraphernalia and in contact with ONA in Kuwait and getting ready to plan something. I don't know, girl, because they ain't going into no detail. I looked and looked and looked, and his case must still be going on. That man must try to plead not guilty or something. So this one, I feel like, is going to be the craziest one. This is the one that fucked me up. His name is Shadden Simpson. He's part of the National Guard, and he was sent from Ohio, because he's the National Guard in Ohio, to Washington, D.C. during the George Floyd protest, right? And there he was filmed and caught spouting crazy racism and ism nonsense, right? He was found to be part of the grape wafting division, the same one that Issa Meltzer was a part of, that they was trying to get him to set up his own whole unit, right? And then on top of that, he was planning on shooting protesters as part of the racial holy war. I can't make it up. Y'all can Google it if you don't believe me. And the most crazy part about this is he was intercepted by the FBI after the man deployed. They caught him in Washington, D.C. when he had his weapon, when he was on duty, when he could have shot some people and killed some people. That's the crazy part. That's the insane part to me. The last one that I'm going to talk about in this video is basically, I mentioned Hope Not Hate a couple times. This is a British organization that fights for hope, not hate, like the name says. And they've been able to successfully connect 6 to 9 cases of neoism terrorism to the ONA, right? And one of them, as recent as 11 months ago, Daniel Hussein. And if you're a true crime fanatic, then you know who he is already. But if you don't, let me tell you, this man is crazy. And he's part of the reason why they're banned. You cannot be a part of this group. This group is not a thing in Britain no more. Because they got banned because of what this man did. And I'll be talking about that in my next video. I lied. This is going to be the last one. I'm sorry. Because I just want to show you it's everywhere. Literally, a 34-year-old man in Canada was charged with the murder of a caretaker of a mosque, and he did it for the ONA and for the glory that he could get from them. This is in fucking Canada. So this is literally everywhere, and I'm pretty sure this is not everything. This happened September 2020. So this is 2 years ago. And these are the things that I researched on one news article. One. Could you imagine if I spent my time literally researching every single case that was connected to them? Y'all, the list that I have here and the list that I've told you is way shorter. I have way more names and way more things on this list than I've said in this video. I just think it's so crazy how people fall into this. But what I think is even more crazier is that we don't take it seriously. Obviously, the people in Britain, the people in England, they took it seriously. They know what's up about this group. But I feel like the United States has this issue with not addressing these type of things. Addressing groups because we're so about freedom of speech, freedom to do, freedom of religion and stuff like that. I get that. But also there has to be a line between freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of that, and public safety. There's gotta be a line here that you cannot cross, right? And just thinking about the things that the Temple of Blood have been accused of, and then members that have been a part of the Temple of Blood have done, and yet the Temple of Blood is still very much a thing. Very much not just kicking, but alive. Gathering people as we speak, I'm telling you. This new party, the Rules Nationalists, the People Rules Nationalist Party, that party, very much alive, very much gaining people, putting stickers on people's cars to get them to join. They don't even know that's ONA. I really wanted to bring and talk about this, not only because I'm interested, unfortunately, in these type of things, but because I feel like we need to be aware that there are groups that will hide their true intentions, and that if we're going to join anything, be a part of anything, do your fucking research. Do your research, because you never know. We just proved you never know. And we also need to be paying attention to these things and making the people who can do something about it pay attention. Because if we're all paying attention and we all make noise, we've seen what that does. honestly, I feel like groups like this, especially the Temple of Blood, they need to be banned. I've never heard of a group being banned in the United States ever. I'ma look though. I've never heard of it, but I'ma look now that I've said that. But if there hasn't been, this needs to be the first. Because this is like, when I tell you, again, the things that are on my screen compared to the things that I've told you, it's just a little skim over the research that I've done. A skim. Because I don't want you guys to go and this starts making sense to you. Because like I said, they had me till the end. You see how they had me to the end? Because some of this can actually low-key make sense, and that's the scary part. And I'm not trying to persuade anybody. And also, I found multiple videos of people like vaguely, briefly talking about the ONA, O9A, and people in the comments talking about, that's not O9A, that's a small part of the division, that's not the whole people, they're always misrepresenting us, that's a small part. If it's such a small part, why are they banned in a whole country? If it's such a small part, why are they banned in a whole country? If it's such a small part, why do I have 3 pages worth of incidences that are confirmed connections to the ONA, crimes done for in the name of ONA, incited by ONA? It don't make no sense. Y'all need to pay attention and open your eyes and wake up. That's enough of my hyperfixation. If you guys want to hear about the Daniel Hussein story and his connection to ONA and what exactly he did, let me know. I'll make a video about it, and I promise with that one I'll be way less giggly because that shit is not a laughing matter. Anyways, thank you for coming to my sleepover. It's time for us to go to bed, bitch, because I was supposed to go to sleep 3 hours ago, and I gotta get up for work, and I gotta take your ass home, and you live an hour and away, and I'm pissed about it. Be sure to subscribe too. Bye.